she'd found Janet's social media history. Years of posts in boy mom groups, complaints about raising a daughter, even a deleted post asking about rehoming adoptions. The evidence was damning, but Janet's lawyer would argue it was taken out of context. The financial pressure started immediately. Ryan had managed to access one of our investment accounts before the freeze went through. Withdrawing $30,000, my lawyer filed motions to recover it. I had to borrow money from my grandmother to cover legal fees, something that made me sick with shame, even though she insisted. 2 nights before the hearing, I was staying at my grandmother's house with Kay when we heard glass breaking. Someone had thrown a rock through the window. The note said, "Stop this or you'll regret it." We called the police. But without proof it was Janet or Ryan, they could only file a report. Kaylee was terrified, clinging to me and asking if the bad people were coming back. The morning of the hearing arrived gray and drizzling. I dressed Kaylee in the purple dress she picked out, her favorite color. She held my hand tightly as we walked into the courthouse, family by my side. Janet arrived separately, dressed in a conservative suit, clearly coached by her lawyer to appear maternal. The courtroom was smaller than expected. Judge Harrison, a woman in her 60s with sharp eyes, reviewed the stack of documents before her. Kaylee sat on my lap playing quietly with her stuffed elephant. Janet's lawyer went first, painting her as a struggling single mother who'd made a difficult choice for her daughter's benefit. He argued that the adoption had been legal and that my family was interfering. He said she was a victim of postpartum depression who deserved a second chance. Nathaniel presented our case: social media posts, recorded conversations, lack of father's consent, and Kaylee's distress at being separated from me. Janet's composure cracked when they showed her posts. "Those were jokes," she insisted. "Everyone vents about their kids online." Judge Harrison asked to speak with Kaylee privately. 20 minutes later, she returned, running straight to me. The judge granted me temporary custody. Janet would have supervised visits twice a week. She exploded, yelling, "She's not her real mother." The judge warned her to stop or face contempt. Outside the courthouse, Janet hissed, "You think you've won? I'll never stop fighting." My grandmother replied, "Then you'll keep losing." The first supervised visit was a disaster. Kaylee cried the entire hour. Janet tried bribing her with candy, frustrated when nothing worked. Ryan, meanwhile, was already dating someone new. He posted photos online, calling her his fresh start. It helped our case. Weeks passed. Kaylee started to heal fewer nightmares, more smiles. I sold jewelry and my car to pay bills, drowning in legal debt. Janet grew unstable. She showed up drunk at therapy, stalked the parking lot, filmed to strangers. Her lawyer dropped her soon after. Ryan tried to revoke his signed rights, blaming manipulation. The betrayal was breathtaking. They turned on each other completely. Kaylee's therapist testified that removing her from me now would cause lasting damage. The evidence was overwhelming. 2 weeks before the final hearing, I found Kaylee cutting her hair. "If I look like a boy," she said, "maybe my first mommy will love me." The final hearing arrived cold and gray. Janet showed up, disheveled, alone. Ryan sat apart, focused on his phone. The judge reviewed everything. "Biology alone doesn't make a parent," she said. "This child's well-being comes first." She granted me full custody. Janet screamed, "She's mine." Security moved forward as the judge ordered her removed. Outside, my family hugged me tight. Kaylee smiled faintly. That night, Janet appeared drunk at my grandmother's house, screaming until police arrived. The adoption moved forward. Kaylee started kindergarten, made new friends, and smiled more. Ryan moved away, leaving everything behind. The adoption finalized. Kaylee said yes, proudly in court. That night, she asked if Janet would come back. I promised I'd keep her safe. Months later, I met David, a widower with a daughter in Kaylee's class. He understood complicated families. Slowly, we built a new life. Years later, David proposed. Kaylee, in her purple dress, stood as my maid of honor. She whispered, "Now I have a real daddy too." That night I watched her sleep, realizing that even after all the heartbreak, she'd become my whole world. Chosen, loved, safe.